All right. Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host. It is July 18th, 2025. That was Castle Rat Wizard. Dude, a random fucking band that popped up in my feed one day, and they are fucking sick. The only way I can describe them is it's like super old style rock, like 70s style rock, with medieval themes. Lead singer's a chick, which I love. A lot of bands with lead singer's a chick, like Till Tuesday, Heart. But yeah, they're sick, dude. Like, their music style is kind of like Black Sabbath. The music style sounds like old Black Sabbath. Just the way it sounds. I don't know. It's hard to explain. But check them out. I told you guys I'd be kind of, if I'm filming at the house, I'm going to do intro music. That way, give you guys a little taste of different bands that I'm interested in. And I don't know. That's how talk radio used to be. I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to do it intro music if I can. Yesterday, I put out 2 episodes. So go check those out. Mecha Hitler, about Grok going nuts, and my thoughts on the Holocaust. You're gonna have to go check that out, because like YouTube is not going to promote that shit at all. And I very rarely talk about the Holocaust. There's some people who are obsessed with the Holocaust, like the Jews run everything, you know. Yeah, I don't really, I'm not one of those guys, but it's some stuff about it is questionable. And I did a Zelda podcast. So this came to my attention. First of all, I have a Buy Me a Coffee account set up. If you want to donate $1, that'd be cool. It helps the channel, helps me pay for pens and paper, helps me pay my bills. It's in the link below, the description of the channel or whatever. So this came to my attention from Donut Factory, when I watched one of his videos, and I'd actually covered the Annabelle doll earlier this year. I can't remember. Just go in my playlist if you're on YouTube of the Warrens, and it'll be in there. We did an episode about Annabelle went to a town in Louisiana and a plantation that was haunted, burnt down around the same time. Ain't gonna lie, I was very skeptical. I'm like, everyone was blaming Annabelle. I'm like, okay, like, you know, yes, she's on her little devil tour, whatever the fuck it's called, but like, doesn't mean just because she came a haunted place burnt down. The one that I was more skeptical about was a jailbreak that happened in that town. The paranormal one, I was at least kind of like, well, at least there's the paranormal connection. So something sad has happened, and it was brought to my attention again by Rin. I did 2 episodes called Listener Email 1 and Listener Email 2. Go check those out. I've been talking back and forth with her. By the way, she says that she needs to get batteries so she can like do something with her camera. She has a picture of a skeleton apparition. I can't remember the location, but I think it was like in a graveyard. She wants to like, hopefully she sends it. She did say something about sending her telling her stories in an audio file. That would be awesome, because then I could just like give a little intro and then play it for you all. I'd love to interview her, but I don't, with her current situation, I don't see that happening. But she had emailed me and said, hey, did you hear about this dude dying on the Annabelle tour? And I'm like, what? And then, it was her that emailed me about it. And then another commenter commented about it on one of my really old paranormal videos, when I was first dabbling with podcasting. I put out like a little mini series of like they're not even really podcasts. It's just like me talking about different paranormal locations. It was just me practicing for podcasting, essentially. So I was already going to report on it, but now that like 2 people have reached out, I'm like, yeah, I need to talk about this shit. And it is interesting and it is weird, because at first I was skeptical with the first paranormal shit that was going on with this Annabelle tour, but now I'm like, okay, this is interesting. So authorities share new details about paranormal investigator found dead after touring possessed Annabelle doll. Dan Rivera, which, by the way, I had never even heard of this guy. Apparently he's like big in the paranormal community. Me and my wife, we do once in a blue moon. We used to do it more often. We haven't done it in years, but we started like our own paranormal group called Spectre. But I mean, we're like rookie paranormal people. Like, I use dowsing rods, a pendulum, bells. We got a ghost box. You know, we have like, we're pretty ghetto with our ghost hunting, but we just do it for fun. You know, and I am interested in the paranormal. I used to do, if you listen to my older episodes, because I'm like 470 something episodes in, I've been doing this for years. If you listen to my older episodes, like I did do a lot of paranormal episodes. And it's not that I'm not interested in it anymore. It's just there's so much crazy shit going on. And honestly, like during like COVID, I had to report on COVID because every day there was something new with COVID. And in the presidential race or the election when it was stolen, I reported on that a lot. It always seems like there's a lot of crazy shit going on in life that I would love to be able to just be like coast to coast and just report on fun shit like paranormal, cryptids more often. But I just feel that there's too much important shit going on. The Epstein thing, thankfully, I only did like 2 episodes on it because there really wasn't anything else to say. I did some more digging though. There will be some more Epstein episodes coming out, but so needless to say, what I'm trying to say is like I'm into the paranormal, but I'm not like I don't know who Dan Rivera is, but apparently he's a big dude in the paranormal community. I know more like Zach Baggins, like ghost hunters, you know, the Warrens. So Dan Rivera, 54, was found dead in a Pennsylvania hotel room. Authorities said, authorities in Pennsylvania are offering. Well, here we go. This is a need to know. Dan Rivera, a paranormal investigator, died on July 13th. Ooh, that's creepy. I didn't even notice that it was the 13th that he died. During a tour in Pennsylvania showcasing the demonically possessed Annabelle doll. That was another thing. I'm a huge fan of Donut Factory, but I just wanted to correct him on something. I love his shit. Go check it out. Tell him who sent you. Maybe he'll shout me out. But, he said that the doll is possessed by a little girl's ghost named Annabelle. The Warrens say that's like a charade, that it's actually a demon pretending to be the ghost of a little girl named Annabelle, that it's actually demonically possessed. It's not a little girl. So I just wanted to correct him on that. So the Pennsylvania State Police said in a report released on July 16th that nothing unusual or suspicious was observed at the scene concerning Rivera's death. So, some people say the police officers or military accounts are like more credible. I'm a conspiracy theorist. I think that the police have been known to cover shit up all the fucking time. Police are corrupt. Any form of government is corrupt to me. I'm a punk. I'm a conspiracy theorist. I don't trust no one. Dan was not only a vital part of our team for over a decade, but also a deeply compassionate, loyal, and dedicated friend. The New England Society for Psychic Research said in a statement with People magazine. So sounds like he was a good guy. I don't know this dude. You'd have to hit me up in the comments if you know anything about him. But to me, that's sad when anyone dies. I hope that I'm trying to be as respectful as possible reporting on this. But yeah, that sucks, man. I hate to see good people go. Especially 54, dude. That's not that fucking old. I'm 33. That's like literally like 21 years from now. Authorities in Pennsylvania are offering new details about the paranormal investigator who died suddenly while on tour displaying a supposedly haunted Raggedy Ann doll named Annabelle. Which, by the way, here's a picture of him. He doesn't look unhealthy or anything. He looks like an average dude. Like, so I mean, it's not like he was like, I don't know. I don't know his lifestyle though, but it doesn't look like he looks like a normal average dude. Dan Rivera, 54, a senior lead investigator for the Connecticut-based New England Society for Psychic Research. Man, they need to come up with like a CBNESF. I don't know, even that's hard to say too. They need something like some nifty name to call that, because that's getting annoying to say over and over again. Died on Sunday, July 13th. So that's spooky right there. During his visit to Gettysburg, which, if we have time, we'll get into Gettysburg in general, because that place is haunted as fuck. I told you guys I was going to do a deep dive on Nottoway Plantation, because we barely picked the surface on the last Annabelle episode. Go check that episode out. But we're going to do a deep dive on it and the Gettysburg, and I'll put it with the playlist of the Warrens stuff. Because we've been covering the Warrens throughout the years. I've done like 6 or 7 episodes on them. They're interesting, to say the least. Where was I at? Gettysburg. As part of the visit to Gettysburg as part of the Devils on the Run. So that was the name of the tour. I remembered it was something Devil. That is a dope-ass name for a tour. The Evening Sun reported earlier. On Wednesday, July 16th, the Pennsylvania State Police shared a report detailing what happened to Rivera on Sunday. Members from PSP Gettysburg responded to a hotel in Straben Township, Adams County, for a report of a deceased man, officials said. The decedent, sorry, I've never heard that word before. I mean, it makes sense. The decedent was discovered in his hotel room by workers, so probably like housekeeping. Quote, nothing unusual or suspicious was observed at the scene, the agency added. His cause of death is pending. So, they say nothing weird was at the scene, nothing suspicious, but his cause of death, as of right now, is still pending. So, I am curious about that. And this whole Annabelle killing people has went back since the Warrens, like in the 70s. So, there's a famous story. Supposedly, I think this is probably the first death caused by Annabelle, quote-unquote death, was a boy and his girlfriend, they were teenagers, rode out on their motorcycle to the museum. Ed was showing them Annabelle, and Ed walked away for a second, and the boy just started shaking the cage and banging on it and cussing out Annabelle. And Ed was like, homie, what the fuck are you doing? And he kicked him out, and he's like, you shouldn't have done that. Apparently the boy drove the motorcycle home and smashed into a tree, and it killed him and his girlfriend. Like that day, right after leaving. So, could be something to it, you know? Rivera, and by the way, we should do a deep dive on just that and see if that's even a true fucking story, if there's police reports or obituaries, a news article, something, or did the Warrens just make that up? If you know in the comments, let me know, because that would be a good deep dive, because you guys know how I am. I'm 50-50 on the Warrens. Just go check out the other Warren episodes, man. Like, I'm 50-50 on him. So, I'm a fence sitter. Rivera had been with colleagues on Sunday morning, but said he was feeling sick and was going back to his room. Abrams County Coroner Francis Dutroux confirms to People. Man, that happens a lot, dude. You hear people like, I just don't feel good. I'm going to go lay down. And I don't know, man. Maybe, as weird as it sounds, like, I think we take life for granted and people's health for granted. Like, I think we need to check on people more. Because I hear that all the fucking time of someone just going, I don't feel right. I'm going to lay down for a little bit. Bruce Lee. That's how Bruce Lee died, dude. Dude had amazing health. He's like, I got a headache. I'm going to lay down. Was at a friend's house, laid down in her bed, and died within like an hour or something. It's fucking crazy, man. We need to check in on people who aren't feeling well. Rivera had been with colleagues, said he was sick. It's unclear what Rivera may have been ill with. Further information is pending his autopsy results. And I promise you, well, I can't promise you, I don't make promises, but I will try to keep up with this story. When the autopsy comes out, I will report on it, hopefully. Because I'm very interested. And like I said, I was skeptical with the first Annabelle shit. I'm still skeptical about the jailbreak. I still, in my opinion, think that has nothing to do with Annabelle. But now that this has happened, I'm kind of looking more like, playing devil's advocate a little less, going, there might be something to this shit, According to Adams County dispatch records, emergency crews responded to a Gettysburg hotel where CPR was administered on a male of Rivera's age, the Evening Sun reported. At the time, Rivera was on tour in Gettysburg to show Annabelle, which the New England Society for Psychic Research described as demonically possessed. By the way, I think Ed and Lorraine Warren were both a part of that, if they didn't start that, the New England Society of Psychic Research. According to the society, the doll's origin goes back to 1968, when a student nurse was gifted the doll and brought it to the home where she lived with her roommates. Almost immediately, the roommates noticed strange occurrences with the doll, and they were introduced to a medium who told them that the doll was inhabited by a spirit of a young girl named Annabelle. The organization wrote the two roommates tried to accept the doll's spirit and please it, only to have it reciprocate maliciousness and violent intent. So they invited the ghost in, thinking it was a ghost when it was a fucking demon, dude. I do believe in demons, man. Go check out an episode I did called My First Live Stream. I had a demon encounter. Or, the only thing I can describe it as is demonic, dude. It could have been a jinn. Who the fuck knows what it was, dude. Scary shit. I used to be mad at God for it. But honestly, I'm glad it happened now because it got me into this type of shit. I would be a total normie probably right now if it weren't for that experience. That and my UFO experience. The society added that its founders, okay, yeah, so they did found it. I was right. Ed and Lorraine Warren were called in and determined that Annabelle was possessed. They took the doll from the home and stored it in a glass box to contain the evil spirit entity. The story of Annabelle and the Warrens led to the development of the horror film franchise The Conjuring, which is a dope-ass fucking series. I've reviewed 2 of those. I did, it's in the Warren playlist. Go check it out. I did a couple reviews. They got a new one coming out. I cover it. Good shit. If you love true paranormal movies, it's a good series, man. It's probably my favorite paranormal series, like horror. The newspaper also noted that Rivera helped generate interest for the tour thanks to viral TikToks he co-produced that garnered millions of views. Rivera also served as a consultant producer on the Netflix show 28 Days Haunted, according to IMDb. So I wonder if that's a true, true story, ghost story show. There's another picture of him next to Annabelle. Rivera's death was previously confirmed by the New England Society for Psychic Research in a social media post, according to the Society's website. Rivera worked on paranormal research and investigations for over 10 years. He was born and raised in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and later served in the U.S. Army. Well, that's cool. So he's a veteran. Thank you for your service, sir. I usually don't say that, but since you're dead, yeah, thanks for your service. So he put in 10 years into the paranormal research, man. So this dude's a veteran, an OG, a professional, it sounds like. I'm curious if they're going to stop the Devil on the Run tour. I'm very curious about that. I would love to see if they're just going to throw someone else in there. I know Ed and Lorraine's son-in-law kind of controls everything now. I don't know, because I'm not sure what his position was in the tour. Was he just like a speaker for the tour? I'm curious. At an early age, he was introduced to a haunting phenomenon, having witnessed paranormal events occurring in his home. His bio read. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying earlier. Me and my demonic experience. At first, as a kid, it's terrifying and you hate it, but it changes your life. It gets you into this shit. You can't just look at that and just go, oh, none of it exists. Like, now you know. I think, honestly, God allows that stuff to happen. Like, with me, it was the demonic experience. I've had ghost experiences, and I've had UFO experiences. The UFO one came later in life, but as a kid, I think God was like, I'm going to show you this, or allow you to see this, so that way you're a believer. And then later on in life, I used to hate aliens. I thought they were the dumbest shit. I had a UFO experience, and I was like, oh my God, they're fucking real. They're fucking real. And I became like an ancient astronaut theorist, a ufologist afterwards. I think he lets you see these things to show you, hey, I'm going to give you a little taste of it. Are you a believer now? You know? That's why I've never been an atheist, man. At an early age, so the organization later shared a press release with people on Tuesday, July 15th, paying tribute to their late friend and colleague. The New England Society, NESPR. Thank you. So finally they put the short of it. NESPR. Okay, I've been saying this whole thing. NESPR is devastated by his passing and still coming to terms with this profound loss. Dan was not only a vital part of our team for over a decade, but also a deeply compassionate, loyal, and dedicated friend, the statement read in part. So that sucks. His not that he was a good friend, it sucks that he's dead, you know. His integrity, creativity, and generosity defined him. Dan's passion for the paranormal was rooted in a genuine desire to educate, help, and connect with others. Whether through social media, conventions, or investigations with local families seeking understanding and peace, the Society further added. We understand that Dan's work inspired fascination and curiosity for many, but above all, he was a father, devoted husband, and loyal friend. So he's leaving behind a kid and a wife and a kid. That's sad, man. That fucking sucks. I hate to see that shit, man. I don't know why I think of Steve Irwin, dude. Like, he had 2 kids, a beautiful wife. Like, he was like an awesome fucking dad, and then a stingray takes him out. Like, now it's just sad, dude. It fucking sucks. Out of respect for his family, we kindly ask for privacy as they mourn this tremendous loss, they continued. NESPR added that it will continue its previously planned events for the remainder of the year. Okay, so question answered. They are going to continue the Devil's on the Run tour. I am curious now that 2 things happened, if it's gonna... I'm gonna keep up with this story because this is fucking crazy. It's getting spooky now, dude. At first I was skeptical. Now I'm like, 2 things happening now. The New England Society for Psychic Research added that it will continue its previously planned events. We believe with all our hearts that Dan would have wanted the work to continue. Bringing people together, sharing knowledge, and honoring the memory of Ed and Lorraine Warren. We will carry his spirit with us in everything we do. The Gettysburg stop of the Devils on the Run tour was hosted by the tour group Ghostly Images of Gettysburg at the Soldiers National Orphanage this past weekend. The Evening Sun reported with final tour stops in September. So, this is why I wish I was fucking rich. Because I would love to, I told you last episode, I want to go on this tour, dude. I just love the paranormal, cryptozoology. I love all this weird shit, man. And I got lucky, man. I got to see some decent, cool stuff in my life. Like, I got to go to Point Pleasant multiple times. Got to see the radioactive site in Point Pleasant. Got to go to the Mothman Museum. Got to go to Hopkinsville Goblins whereabouts, where there's like a UFO set up. I got to go to the Sasquatch Museum. Got to go to the Flatwoods Monster Museum and visit the Flatwood Monster town. Got to see a piece of the tree that was like rotted and decayed. So I got lucky, man. I've got to do a lot of cool paranormal shit. So my plans are, since Nottoway Plantation was the first place that all that weird shit happened, and we talked about the burning of it down to the ground, but we never actually got to talk about all the haunted stories of Nottoway Plantation. And since Gettysburg is where this incident happened, I want to do a deep dive episode, maybe an individual episode for Nottoway Plantation, and then a Gettysburg ghost episode. I think I've covered Gettysburg once years ago. I'll have to look in my episode list. If you're listening on Spotify, if I can find it, I'll put it on a related episodes. But I want to do either an individual episode for each of those places of just all the different paranormal accounts I can find. If you're into that type of shit, that's my older style of podcasting, was ghost stories and UFO stories. But some people didn't like that style. Some people like more off the cuff, and I like to do both styles, honestly. I like a mixture of both. Or I might do a double feature and just cover both of those places in one episode in a neat little package. So let me know in the comments if you guys would be interested in seeing that type of episode. Whether it gets views or not, I don't know. I'm still probably going to do it. I do have more to say about Epstein. I have tons of fucking notes from like the past 2 fucking days of all the shit I need to talk about. It's so hard to keep up, man. Life is like going by so fast with just crazy stories, and I'm pretty proud of myself. Yesterday I put out 2 episodes, but rest in pieces, Dan Rivera. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? Do you think it's connected to Annabelle? Like I said, once the autopsy comes out, I'll try to report on it. And we need to keep an eye on this shit and see if anything else weird happens in this Devils on the Run tour. Would you go visit Annabelle? Would you go on the tour? Hit me up in the comments. And go check out the Warren playlist. I might add Annabelle to that Warren playlist. Like, Annabelle. Just to draw in more viewers. But it's essentially just called The Warrens. Because we've got 5 or 6 episodes where we've covered the Warrens. And they're interesting figures. But I love you all. Please like, share, and subscribe. And you all have a good day.